Okay. So I know I'm presenting today, but are you presenting today too, Christopher?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go ahead and go.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So, you guys see this? Try to zoom in so you guys can read it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Cool.
Looks good.
Okay. So today I'm supposed to be talking about using JavaScript to trigger events. So there are lots of different kinds. I just listed a few from different categories, but there's like way more that I didn't include. So you have mouse events here, which includes, oh, that's supposed to be on click, not on lick. And then there's on double click and on mouse over, on key press, on load, on resize, and you can read all these. There's lots of different types. And I have examples right here, and I'll show you, and then we can go over code. So right here I have, it's an on-click example, and it's just toggling class change in JavaScript to change the color. Keyboard event for this one is just on key press, so it turns blue when I press any key. For this one I have on load in the body tag, so it's showing today's date from that. This one's form, so you just submit and it alerts you as for reload. For drag event, you can just drag it back and forth. It's not supported in Internet Explorer 8 or Safari 5.1, unfortunately. So copy, and for this one it's copy, paste. For this one, on print, it's not supported with Chrome, Safari, or Opera, so let me pull up. That's showing the right one. Yes. Okay. So I loaded it up in Mozilla, and I'm gonna print this, and it says printing is in progress. So that's really all that it does. For in this particular instance, for this one, it just is on play, so it comes up with an alert saying video is playing. It's just a animation, and it's tells you which part of the animation is going at the time. So start, iteration, and then end. This is a transition event, so started, and then I think eventually, yeah, then end. Okay. And then down to touch events. Now this won't work because I'm not any kind of mobile and on my PC, so it should just press visualize and you should be able to draw in the canvas, and then it should log how many times you touched the screen. But we can't really show that since I'm on my computer. And touch events are kind of weird with browser support, so I just listed this here. It's generally supported in all these browsers here, not in Internet Explorer or Edge. And I just looked up, oh, great, that works. On can I use for touch events to find this. So you can look at it too. For Edge, you can try and use about flags to enable it, but it still doesn't have 100% support for, like, just go back up, for stuff like on touch move or something. You might be able to do on touch start, I think, with the about flags, but not all the different kind of touch events that you can have. So let's move on to the code. This is the HTML. Never mind. Okay, so right here we have mouse click. It's really simple. I have my button that I'm getting here, and then I'm toggling the class from just its regular button to this antique white. So really simple stuff, nothing too crazy. If I go into the HTML here, you can see that I'm calling on load the date right here that I have set up. Oops. Where'd that go? Oh, I did that. And that's just showing off the onload, so I don't need to explain that to y'all. This here, the form, let's see. There, we can see it. And that's just adding two numbers together and alerting the result. So I tried to make these as simple as possible so you guys could see how to show these. For the drag event, let's scroll down to see that right here. We have the drag start and the actual event. We need to allow it to drop. And here's the actual drop. So in these two instances, it changes. Here, I can show you. Element dragging, dropped, stuff like that. So that's what these are for, because it's calling the event.
How are those functions called?
They're
like
called,
have them hooked up to an event listener?
Yeah, I thought I had, yeah. They're called, they're here, and it's a pending child. There.
I'm just wondering how it gets to like the function drop event. What calls that and puts the event in it? Is that like on the element?
Let me scroll down to the, yeah, it's on the element. So
Yeah.
you have on drop here, on drag over, on drag start, and then draggable true. That's just the idea. So I have two divs here that have both of those that allow it to drop and allow the drops and stuff, and on drag over, so that it actually has those events happen.
That's cool. I've never seen it done with like just straight up JavaScript, so I just want to see how it's working.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, I need to change the padding obviously because it's way down the bottom there, but you get the idea. It's pretty cool. Let's see what's next. Copy. It's really easy to copy, paste, and print are basically all the same thing. That where it's let's go here on copy. Right here is and on paste. Oops, so there. It's calling those functions, and then when you copy it, it says these here. And this particular one, I couldn't get it to work with an element, but it did work for me when I put it in the body tag on afterprint. So, but when I was researching it, they said that you could put it in any element, but it didn't work for me. So, but that one's, I mean, really simple. Media is next. Scroll down to that. I just have a video, just like a Snapchat story, so nothing exciting. Just alerts, and again, just drag. Yep, on play is the call there. Animation has event listeners here, So I have my animation. Oh, console log. You can ignore that. I was just trying to get it to work and see what was actually going through when I was working on it. So I have this event, all these event listeners. You can see WebKit and not WebKit. This one actually changes the colors here and tells you what part of the animation we're in. So not too crazy. Where is that? It's an on-click that I have there. So it goes through all of that. And it's the same for this transition. It's an on-click and it just does the same thing. Basically, since they're similar. And this is the touch event. I need to work on this a lot more because I don't feel I understand it like I do the other ones as much. But so, and you can see I have that nice comment to myself. So you have all these event listeners, and then of course you have the events. Right, where is it? Did I put it in this one? No. Between these two, let's see if it's on this one. Yeah, between this start up here, can you guys see that okay? I have ongoing touches, and that should display in the log here how many times the canvas has had someone's finger touch it or something, or I guess not a finger, it could be a stylus or whatever it might be. So it would be between here, I think. I forgot to add it to this one. And then you go through the touch length. It should be adding colors when you touch it. Should be. Can't obviously show that to y'all. But it goes through all of this here, and then you have all your color touches, and then your else just in case. And then here's your end event. Goes through the same amount of stuff, and the cancel. And that's all I have on this page. Yes. Do you guys have any questions?
Nope, that's a ton of stuff though.
It is a
Yeah,
ton
it
of
is.
stuff.
Yeah. They're really cool. A lot of stuff you can do with JavaScript. And obviously, I didn't even do all the ones on this list, but there's like way more stuff you can do. I think there's like this page on W3 Schools that just has this huge list of things that you can do. So yeah, it's really cool. Fun to mess with. So I will stop sharing my screen. There.
Sweet. So with mine, I had designing, defining, and triggering CSS elements or CSS transitions without custom libraries. Basically, what happens is a lot of the stuff that you were going over with JavaScript, not a lot of it, but some of it you can do with just CSS transitions without the JavaScript and those libraries. So with this, I have it to where I'm hovering over it and it will change the size and transition on the color and keep it centered. And I'm trying to figure out like a big reason for this other than like making a website look like nice. I'm trying to think of like a resourceful way of trying to figure that out. But because the other thing is that if I were to the weird part about it is if I were to change like the margins at the same time, I can like really get it to start to trip out on me. So like it will just, because it's trying to do a hover event, so it tries to hover it over there, and then I move my mouse, and then it just, if I keep moving my mouse, keeps messing with it. But so anyways, that was just something weird that I found about it too, that obviously could cause issues. So like you can't, as far as I understand, you can't change this to be like a click event or anything like that. I don't know of any selector that does that in CSS. Do you guys know of any selector that does that in CSS? If you don't, it's cool.
I don't think I know of
That
anything.
does what? I didn't understand the question.
So this where it has like the hover event on it, is there one that does like a click event? Like if I were to click this box, do these transitions?
There's a focus.
Yeah.
Focus might do it.
Yeah, I just thought with focus I would have to actually like
tab into it maybe.
Yeah, tab into it or something. I don't know. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it would have to be like some kind of text box, because that's the other thing that I did do. Let's see here. Let me pull that up. Um, had it all commented out because I didn't have it necessarily working quite yet. But let me see if I can throw this in. It'll do it. Yeah. So that's the only other thing that I could think of is like you click on it and then like as you click on it, you see how the yellow like fades in. I don't know. It's just like a lot of like nice, like you can make stuff look really good by just doing these easy transitions. As far as the how you do it, so this line here, so you have to do it with two lines, just for different, because of the different browsers on CSS 3. So for Safari, it's this WebKit transition. And then I don't have Safari and I didn't feel like installing Safari, but I trust that it works on Safari with that line. So like this one, if I had this as a hover again, this one would work in all browsers. And you see it moves it all because it's part of because of the way that I wrote this here, where I have my box up here, so it moves the block. So it's I don't know, it's weird. You can do cool stuff with it. But if I did this transition effect in Safari, it probably wouldn't work because I don't have the WebKit transition. So you need both, even though they do the same thing, you need both. And then as far as like the syntax of it is, you just give the change that you're wanting to make and the amount of time that you want it to take to do that. So when I hover over this, you can see that the height grows quickly, but the width is slow. And I can change that to be the same right here. And then it changes both of them at the same time. Or you can make it so that they operate at different times, or this takes longer and all of that stuff. But for the most part, just these two lines are the exact same thing. It's just for different browsers. If you're only concerned about Firefox and Chrome, I don't know why you would forget about Safari, because you need to have it. But you could just do this line, but it's just best to just do both. This doesn't work with anything previous to Internet Explorer 9 or I think it was Chrome 12. Is that right? I can't remember exactly, but it should be working on pretty much anything that's out there right now, because I think Internet Explorer was like, I don't know, that was like Vista days. And if people are running on Vista, they're probably going to have a hard time loading your website anyways, so because it's just old. Other than that, that's pretty much what CSS transitions without custom libraries are, is being able to take different events and making smooth transitions out of them. You can make a transform. The transform will change the objects in more detail. I don't know if that's like makes any sense, but here's what I found at W3 Schools about transforms. So like this one is it'll rotate images, or you can skew them. You can resize them, but you can resize them in transitions. But if you notice with the transform, it's not like a, as I drag this bar, it's not rotating. And when I let go, it doesn't do a smooth transition to that new degree. It just straight goes there. So with transitions, if I did something similar like this to transitions, I would assume that when I let go of the bar, it would do a smooth transition of rotating it. But essentially my understanding of the difference between a transform and a transition is transforms are right away. Like if I were to make this event and do it without the transition, by default it's a transform. Then if I hover over this, it will do an instant transform on it. So by default, it does a transform, and then you have your transition, which will make that smooth. So, but with transitions, I feel like you could do more. I don't know. Maybe the transition, yeah, with the transition, you just make it smooth, whereas the transform is just to get it done. That's pretty much it. You guys have any questions?
No, from me.
I don't have any either. All looks good.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Awesome. Good work, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, catch you guys later then.
Yeah.